So the Lakers are continuing to dominate in ways that I think a lot of people have talked about, and I will continue to talk about. I have, and I will. They're great, and it starts with LeBron and Luka and the greatness of those two guys. But it goes so much deeper than that as well for why this team is playing this well and why they look like serious threats to get the 2 seed, serious threats to win multiple rounds, and serious threats to contend for a title this year. I mean, your top 5 contenders right now look pretty clear at this point. You got Cleveland, Boston, OKC, Denver, and Los Angeles in no specific order, but I think those are your top 5 in whatever order you want to put them. And the Lakers are earning that top 5 spot. They're playing elite level basketball on both ends of the court, especially on the defensive end. That has been the most impressive thing, is that the defensive ability has really not dropped at all since losing Anthony Davis. Shocking, but really impressive stuff. And I think it starts, honestly, I think it starts with the defense, with the bench though, because look, guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Trey Jemison, Jordan Goodwin, those guys are out there. Gabe Vincent too. I mean, those are the guys that gave this team the boost tonight against the Clippers, a game that they could have lost. Absolutely, realistically, it would have been totally understandable if they had lost. They didn't play. I mean, they played pretty good, but offensively, besides Luka and LeBron, there wasn't much going. LeBron has 28, 13, and 3 on a very good efficiency. Luka still not the most efficient, but 22 shots for 31 points. At the end of the day, you will take that every day of the week. He had 3 steals, 6 turnovers isn't ideal, but as a whole, it could be a whole heck of a lot worse. And Austin Reeves only plays 9 minutes. They don't get much out of him. Dorian Finney-Smith, 31 minutes. Jackson Hayes, 26 minutes. Neither of those guys had great games, huge contributions. And the bench comes in and provides this defensive effort and heart and intensity that the Lakers just absolutely need. And I thought Trey Jemison was a big part of it tonight. I think his ability to move his feet as a backup big is really interesting. In fact, he is interesting enough to me, in all honesty, where I almost wonder if they should play him over Hayes come playoff time potentially. I don't really know. I'm pretty impressed with everything that we've seen with him. I mean, the Lakers are 10-0 in games he's played, which is not a super, I don't know, not a super meaningful stat, I don't think, but I really think that he and Jordan Goodwin especially, both those guys have kind of come out of nowhere. And I mean, Jordan Goodwin's been obviously, I thought was actually a pretty decent player for the Wizards the last couple of years, but both those guys have kind of come out of nowhere to become real contributing role players on a team that you didn't think would really need them or expect that. You know what I mean? Like, Trey Jemison is earning more minutes than Alex Len for good reason. He's the better player right now. His defensive versatility, his mobility, his switchability, his work ethic, his hustle, all that stuff is noticeable. Jared Vanderbilt's the same story. High level, high effort, rebounding and defense. Jordan Goodwin, he's going to be a pest on the perimeter. He had 3 steals in 21 minutes, and he's going to do some scoring stuff and some other things as well. He also had 5 rebounds in 21 minutes last night. And then, I mean, Dalton Connect comes in and provides that shooting ability, and hopefully connects as one of those guys on the bench can get that dog mentality a little bit more, just like some of these other bench dudes seem to have on this Lakers team. So, hey, I like a lot of what I'm seeing out of these guys that are coming off the bench right now for this Lakers team. Obviously, Dorian Finney-Smith is generally one of those guys as well, with Rui Hachimura playing, but Rui Hachimura didn't play tonight. Obviously, Reeves got hurt, so he didn't play much. So you get a lot of bench minutes, and the bench comes through in a big spot. Now, they did get killed by Zubac. Zubac was 13 of 15, 16 rebounds and 27 points. Very, very dominant stuff. But as a team, they still only get out rebounded by 5. Again, that's the value of having high level rebounders like LeBron, and even though Luka only had 2 rebounds, him as well, on your wings as 2 of the best wing rebounders in all of basketball. But at the same time, like, this team is, I almost think they're going to need to go small. I think in order to maximize what they can do, it is going to be a lot of Rui Hachimura at the 5, or Dorian Finney-Smith, or Jared Vanderbilt, or guys like that at the 5. And maybe Jemison plays 20 minutes a game, Jemison Hayes, whoever it is. But in my opinion, I think going small might actually be their best bet, because these Rui Hachimura lineups at the 5 have been really effective so far. I think he is physical enough and big enough that he can kind of, sort of, a little bit bang on the inside if need be with certain guys, and they can just kill teams with spacing. Like the Clippers, if they had Rui Hachimura tonight at the 5, I don't think the Clippers would have really had much answers for this Lakers team, because this closing lineup that the Lakers can throw at teams with Luka, Reeves, Dorian, Rui, and LeBron is like, you got 4 dudes on the court who are at least 6'7", 6'8", and 3 of them are physical, big defensive guys. And that's not even including Luka, who's a physical big guy. You may not consider him a defensive player, but LeBron is bought in defensively as of late. He is playing rejuvenated, incredible basketball. I mean, the guy's playing like a top 10 basketball player in the world. He should be a first or second team all NBA guy, and he's playing like it this season. I mean, it's hard to explain how impressive so many different aspects of this Lakers team are. And so you got to give them credit, man. In this stretch, basically they've won what, 15 of their last 18, 20 of their or 17 of their last 17 of the last 21, I believe. Like, really, really impressive basketball as a whole from this Lakers team recently. And they are now the 4th seed in the Western Conference, only 1 game back of Denver and a half a game back of the Grizzlies with 24 to play. They also have played less games than both the Grizzlies and the Nuggets. If they win their next 2 games, they'll be tied at 39 and 21 with what the Nuggets are right now. So they kind of control their own destiny in a lot of ways right now, and are really well positioned to make a serious run of the top 2 seed. Really, if you're the Lakers, you want that 2nd seed because it gives you home court advantage the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but also because it allows you to avoid OKC until the finals, or until the conference finals. Either way, they're going to see probably Denver in the 2nd round of the playoffs if they are a top 3 seed. Again, you want home court advantage for that series as well. That is going to be the hardest series for the Lakers to win. I think that and OKC are both brutal series, just because OKC is so good and Denver has Jokic. So I think those 2 things are going to really impact this team in a lot of ways, potentially, but they have a path. They absolutely have a path. You'd be fooling yourself at this point to say they don't have a path. I mean, since January 20th, when they are 15 and 3 in their last 18 games, they are the 9th best offensive team in the league, or at a 117.0 offensive rating. Again, that will get better as Luka continues to find his groove, healthy Reeves, and Braun playing this well. It's going to continue to get better. And defensively, they're the best defensive team in basketball, and it's not even close over that stretch of time, with a 106.1 defensive rating, giving them a 11.0 net rating, the best in the West besides OKC, and the 3rd best in basketball behind those 2 main contenders, it seems like, the Cavs and the Thunder, and right above the Celtics, who again are that next contender. You have your top three contending teams in Cleveland, OKC, and Boston. But I got to be honest, I'd be hard pressed to see a team that isn't above the... What team is above the Lakers besides those 3? Is it the Nuggets? Maybe. It's about it. I don't know. I mean, even the shooting numbers. I talked about them being 7th best offensively since January 20th, but in terms of shooting efficiency, they have the 2nd best field goal percentage in the league, the 3rd best effective field goal percentage in the league. Their 2-point field goal percentage leads basketball since January 20th, and 3-point percentage, unfortunately, isn't quite as good. It's right around middle of the league at about 15th, but they don't shoot a ridiculous amount of threes either. So they're not an extremely efficient 3-point shooting team, but they also don't shoot a ton of threes. They're all, again, right around the middle in the league in 3-point attempts as they are in 3-point percentage. So they're extremely efficient. They're extremely well coached. They defend their butts off. Their bench is a bunch of dogs. I mean, they got a bunch of junkyard dogs coming off that bench who are going to come in there and fight on a night-to-night basis. They got size, switchability, versatility. They have everything but a true center at a high level, and I actually don't mind Jackson Hayes or Trey Jemison. Like, I think both those guys are playable. They will contribute if need be. I really like this team. I think they have an extremely high ceiling, and I think they can actually win a title this year. Will they? I have no idea. But I'm not going to stop talking about it because, number 1, Luka's my favorite player. LeBron's my 2nd favorite player. Luka not being a Mav hurts my heart, but still, it's a fun team to watch. It's an exciting team to watch, and there is a ton to talk about with them on a consistent basis. So yeah, with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.